Jerusalem hath grievously sinned, therefore she is removed. All that honored her despise her, because they have seen her nakedness. Yea, she sigheth, and turneth backward. Lamentations 1:8. Jerusalem here is your own divine self once robed in glory, now removed into a state of forgetfulness because she sinned. That sin is nothing more than the great amnesia, believing you are your appearances, your fears, your lack, instead of the I am that dreams them. Stripped of your garment of omnipotence, you stand naked in the world's tomb, your skull, where only the dead remain, yet you alone are alive with creative power. All that honored her despise her. Speaks of your faculties, memory, reason, imagination, which once paid tribute to your true being, now recoil in shame at the sight of your emptiness. They write you off, convinced you have no cause, no maker. And so you sigh, an inner vibration that feels like regret, and turn backward, drifting again into sleep, mesmerized by your own dream of mortality. But take heart, this grief is the first stirrings of the Christ within. Your sigh is the wind that splits the Mount of Olives, your head from the valley of the self. In that fissure appears the pool of golden light, the blood of God, calling you to assume your place as the cause. You do not plead for change in the world, you awaken to change within. Know that every prophecy of Jerusalem's fall and restoration is written in you. When you demand your garment of glory by assuming in imagination the man or woman you would be, your shame is transformed. Your nakedness becomes the womb of resurrection, and you ascend like the fiery serpent, restored to your throne. Thus Lamentations becomes your own redemption story. Jerusalem's tears awaken her bridegroom, and she rises, everlasting, wonderful, at peace, knowing herself the I am, the cause of all she seeks. In this lament, Jerusalem speaks of your deep self, once honored but now removed by its own unhealed guilt. The nakedness is the raw exposure of your hidden assumptions, those self-judgments or limiting beliefs you've cloaked in stories of failure. The sighing and turning backward captures the inner posture of regret, dwelling in what was rather than the creative now. Here we see the universal law at work. Our inner states project outward reality. Because the self sinned, adopted a false state, consciousness withdrew its creative power, and what you once built now crumbles. Every belief, honor, once protected you now despises you because it detects your self-betrayal. Restoration begins when you shift that inner state, when the lamenting mind turns from old guilt and assumes a new, sovereign identity. This pivot moment is the mechanics of manifestation. Revise the inner script, and the outer world will reform. The verse secretly reveals your power to remove and restore Jerusalem at will. That is, to demolish or rebuild your inner world. Your divine privilege is to change the inner conviction you harbor. Though you may sigh over past errors, you also possess the capacity to assume a higher state of being. You are the silent architect. Every state of consciousness you occupy becomes the soil from which your outer experience flowers. Begin by settling into stillness and naming the old, regretful belief that lingers within you. Perhaps I have failed, or I am unworthy. And simply observe how it seems to sigh in the center of your chest. As you feel that weight, gently turn your attention away from the backward pull of regret and toward an imagined scene of restoration. See your consciousness as an inner Jerusalem, glowing with light, whole and unconditionally accepted. Return to this vision throughout your day, morning, noon, and night, rehearsing it until it begins to feel as real and alive as any physical experience. In cultivating that honored, protected inner reality, you allow it to grow strong enough to overshadow the old belief. Over time, remaining faithful to this new self-view invites the world around you to reshape itself, reflecting the inner rehabilitation you have embraced. In this way, by learning from the fall of Jerusalem, you master the sacred art of raising your own city, your own consciousness, out of sorrow and into divine renewal.